cause I know what you want. I ask myself, is this shit real?
Hey y'all, happy Sunday. How could I forget? Happy Sunday. It's Sunday and welcome to officially my first vlog in a very long time. And so welcome back essentially, but welcome really because it's been almost 4 years. Maybe 3. And I'm just so like amazed and shocked with where we are now, who we are now, what we're doing now, and just all of the twists and turns that God has placed in our lives. Ooh, y'all, it has been a lot. So just to do a quick recap, because this will officially be like my first vlog, I guess like an intro, kind of just like where we've been, just kind of giving y'all a little tea. This isn't gonna be, I do want to do like an official, like a sit down, kind of just talking about like everything. But long story short, after having our daughter, I just got really busy. And people say that so much, but it's really an understatement. How busy you, and it's not busyness, but now your time has been filled with more things. Whereas before I had a lot more gaps in my time. I had a lot more time of just, oh, I'm not doing anything. And for people who do not have children, there's points in time when you don't understand what the value of time actually is. Because you have so much of it, right? It's just so splendid. Just time. And it doesn't matter what you do, right? Because even if you are a working person, even if you work, if you have a career, you're in school or whatever, you still have time where you're not really doing anything. And when I say not really doing anything, I mean like you choose not to do anything right now, and it has no consequence, or it's not of importance to anyone. If you were off one day and you decided to just stay in your room the entire day and not go outside, not do anything, there would be nothing wrong with that. Whereas when you become a parent, I cannot just hold myself up in the room all day and do nothing. This girl wants to eat. She want to go outside. She want to play. She want to talk. She want to learn. She want to explore. She want to And so I just did not have the time, and I did not have the energy to record. Even though I wanted to so badly, which was crazy. I really, really wanted to record and show just kind of like how beautiful pregnancy was, how beautiful my postpartum experience was. I absolutely cherished my entire family, my entire culture, traditions, and just how we do things. Because that's one of the reasons why I became a traditional midwife. But more than that, it showed me that being in community, having a village, having family, having people in your circle that love and care for you as an individual, and thus all of the things that come with who you are just a surplus of the love that we have for you. Life really is beautiful. And I've always known that, but that moment was like, oh my gosh, like y'all are really, really beautiful people, and I love you guys so much. And so that's kind of where we've been. As you guys can hear, I do not have an infant or anything. This is a full-blown toddler now. She is 3. She's gonna be 3.5 next month, technically, because next month is our half birthdays. I definitely do that. So our half birthdays are November 7th and November 27th, which I just love, because the people who happen to be born in the November month, they always end up being some of my bestest friends. Like, I just love who they are. I don't know what it is with that month of November. I don't know if it's the giving season or what, but like I love them. And so the fact that like my half birthday is on that month is like, yeah. Anyways, and so she is 3.5. I just say she's 3.5, but she's 3.5. She is literally, she's 3.5 and 3.5 feet tall. And she's like 40 something plus pounds. She is a powerhouse. Yeah, this girl, this young child is a powerhouse. And it's so crazy because I remember asking God when I was pregnant. One, I already knew I was having a daughter, which is something that I mentioned in like one of the vlogs that I still have up when I talk about like my pregnancy and stuff like that. Which, if you're wondering about all that, like, go watch them. They're still up, y'all. Okay, so you can watch my whole like little pregnancy little journey there. But when I was pregnant, I knew I was having knew my first child was gonna be a girl, and so I already had her name and everything. Like all of that was already like set. I had already did that. But I remember praying like, God, I want such a strong-willed child. I want such a independent, courageous, confident child. I want a child that does not waver to the things of this world. I want a child that is so steadfast and focused in on your word, God, that nothing and no one can change her or distract her from your path and your plan, including her parents. What I did not clarify in that part of the prayer, because I definitely did ask for it later, was to make sure that I was already equipped with the tools to handle such child. And obviously God, he already knows my heart, he already knows my character, so he knows I am capable of having those tools, or already have bits and pieces. But y'all, yeah. She is such a strong spirited child, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it. But it's a constant battle for myself, which, y'all, I have my, because I'm going to actually have a moment with God. We were supposed to do it earlier. I was supposed to do it earlier at 11. We were supposed to talk earlier at 11, but church was on, service was on, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my word right there, and then I'm gonna come back, Lord, come back, so we can have a private one-on-one on what we just discussed. Because what the pastor was even talking about today was so, like, I literally was saying this yesterday, and I'm like, I just love, like, God, I always say God is not, he's not, like, I don't believe in, like, luck, what? Or coincidences. I don't believe in luck or coincidences. So I always say God is very meticulous. He's very thoughtful, very demure. No, he's very, very thoughtful. And so, do I hear her in the background? I actually came in here to get away from her. Anyways, so because I need my own little prayer like room, and because I want to lock the door so bad.
What happened?
But once again, this is I have to do this because I need so much patience, so much patience, and so much grace. Because as a mom, you can feel very overwhelmed. I am the firstborn daughter, Haitian daughter at that. So there's always been an immense amount of pressure on me. I've always had to watch over people and take care of others and nurture others. So I've always been in this particular role. But those weren't, you know, like if I wanted to stop, I could. I don't have that option now. I mean, I do. But my goal in life is not to be a bad mom or be like a traumatizing mother. You know, so my goal in life is not to inflict trauma on purpose, right? Because we can somehow inflict trauma that we didn't intend to, but that's neither here nor there. But hold on, because not the piano. All right, y'all, we're back. I just had to lock the door because no. And so yeah, but motherhood has been like I said, if you guys watch those earlier videos, or if you go back and watch them, I said time and time again, I prayed to be a mom. I absolutely love this journey. I love how it's crafting me to be a better individual. I love how it's crafting and refining my character, my personality, who I am. Because I know the gift that God has planted in me, the gifts God has planted in me, but I know the reason why I'm here. And like when I tell people that, they're like, how do you know that? You're so young. And it's just like, age has nothing to do with intention and just wisdom. I've always known that the world that I see could not possibly be real. With everything, you know, like with just how perfect outside of humans the world is, there's no way that here we come being like this. Like something it just does not make, it looks broken, it operates in a broken method. I want to know why, and I want to see how I can do my part to not aid in the brokenness and actually try to heal some people and bring some people to that healing process and journey. And so, God, I locked the door, y'all. For whatever reason, my half Brooklyn husband decided to teach her how to unlock things and pick locks at 3. And his reasoning is just in case she ever gets locked in somewhere. Which is a great reason. Wonderful. But now look at what we have.
To blame about how I feel, but you make it way too hard to think that this could be what you love. It took a lot of hardship just to learn how not to break down and stop it. No matter what I've seen in the past, I won't let it impact how we grow now, baby. But can't let it slip away, drift away, can go to waste, I say it straight to your face, won't contemplate, you got to play that, babe. I don't wanna wait another minute for you. I know you got me falling from the ceiling for you. Knew it from the start, there was no limit to you. And I'm catching feelings, baby.
Hey y'all, so I just finished my time with God and it was very, very insightful. I always tell people that because of my background and like my educational background, my professional background, I am able to look at things much differently and process them a little bit quicker. Because my mind is just always like kind of going, and not in a bad way, but just like I always say, like I'm never not talking to God. Like I'm always in prayer. Like there's always like I never hang up the phone, and that's how I look at it. Like that line of communication is always open. There may be times where I may not say anything like out loud or like think of something like out loud, but my spirit is always talking to God, always. And so one of the things, and I put this on my TikTok, which I will share my social medias down below. But one of the things that I was just talking about, because this was kind of something that me and my husband were discussing, is just like how it is parenting our daughter. Because like I mentioned earlier, love her. I'm completely obsessed with her. But there's times where we both find ourselves extremely overwhelmed with how strong-willed her spirit is. And there's a lot of times where it's quite literally dangerous. And it's still like a fight. Like if that's what she wants to do, that's what she's going to do. And of course, I'm not going to just allow my child to do something dangerous because she's strong-willed. But the lengths that you have to go to reel her back into whatever it is it really, like, for both of us, it takes us out of wherever we are, and we're having to, like, exacerbate so many other emotions that just aren't, like, I don't want to have to act like that just to get you to listen. I don't want to have to, like, manhandle you and toss you to the side because you want to run right into the middle of the street, right where cars are. I don't want to have to do that, but the 10 other times that we sternly and firmly told you not to go over here, this is your side, we placed you in a, you know, like, all of these different things, like, we're literally having to, like, like, it always has to resort to something physical, and not in, like, a harmful physical, but like, we're always having to have hands on her because words just have no effect. And this is not even like a, oh, gentle parenting doesn't work kind of a thing, because we're not spanking our daughter, right? I think when people think of physical, they think like you're like physically, like, we're not hitting her, we're not putting our hand, we're not doing any of those things, we're not barbaric. Okay, you can definitely still get your point across, but we've noticed that anytime we've had to, like, seriously, like, reel her in, it had to have been like, what are you doing, kind of like a connection. If it's just kind of like words, it's just kind of like she's just, but it's like until she feels you, like, touching her, she's like, oh, hello. And it's like, where are you? Like, where are you? Why are you not here right now? Like, where are you? Where is your mind? Where do you think you are that you're just running something? Like, is this a river of chocolate or something? Like, what is going on? Like, why do you do the things that you do? So, like, I need to do this. Like, you're not, like, as if you're not in our reality. And, like, we literally have talks about that. Like, it's like she's in another world. And for all we know, she could be operating under the spirit, okay? She could be seeing things that we just don't and can't, because she's just more spiritually attuned. And that's cool, but Lord, you didn't give me no glasses or nothing, like. All night,
hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe.
Happy Monday. It is Monday, y'all. We went to bed so late last night. So late last night. And at this point now, I'm, like, literally rushing because I have a client in, like, a few short minutes, and I'm still in my PJs. So let's go ahead, open our windows, and get ready for the day. I'll come right back, y'all. Hold on.
You know, they get more money.
Oh, every time. Oh, they get money just because you utilize the hospital's medicine.
Right.
It's not.
So not even used for her, like one of her. That's extra money for her. Yeah. She does that with everything. So, yeah. So all of that.
So we are done with that meeting. That meeting the meeting started at 10. We did not get, and mind you, it's a consultation. So those meetings are supposed to be 30 minutes. We did not get off the call until 12:40. Oh my gosh, hold on. Y'all gotta come with me. I almost forgot something. Oh Lord. Cause I'm like, wait. So Manny just left, and he left some food, like eggs. I was panicking for a second. So we're in the kitchen now. But I turned around and I'm like, I smell something. But I'm not the one that did it. And that would be the boiled eggs that Manny had begun to prepare. Y'all, is it just me? Like, why what is going on? Like, why don't shirts have like a natural shelf or something? I think they need a shirt specifically for breastfed feeding moms that breastfed, because it don't matter if the shirt got a cup, the cup don't fit, it don't match, and not where I'm at. And the thing is, I was always heavy chested before I had my daughter. I was not like an A and a B and then suddenly I had a double D, and then now I was a double D before I had my daughter. And so now being smaller, I'm like, nah. But these cups don't make no sense. Like, was they always like this for y'all? Cause this don't make no sense. This don't make no dang sense at all. Jesus.
Usually I don't do this.
She did the funniest thing just now. I pulled out the camera and she said, "Hey guys," so that's how you know I'm always recording something for like workshops, or I have a membership and a mentorship, so I'm always doing something for that, or for work, or my business, like I'm doing like virtual calls with clients or patients, and so I'm always like, "Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey." She's so adorable. But we are out eating our pizzas. Mine is right there. We got a little morning pizza date. It's my little time with God. I don't know if you want to say that. My little time with God.
Often, but since recruiting isn't an option due to unusual rain and thunder, baby, I wonder, would you just put your sweats on for me? Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill.
With you tonight is on a island. It's about time for waking up. Told you wasn't with me.
There you go. With all of these different notes and chapters, and it's really solid, and then they also have like little notes at the bottom, not the bottom, at the back of the page. And so I really love this. They have links and all of them are clickable as well. And so there's a yearly overview, like your goals, gratitude, devotional, prayer, Bible study, sermon, and then notes. And so like gratitude would be like, you have 30 days of gratitude calendar. You have a daily gratitude, kind of like a spread. And then devotional, there is a daily devotional. So like, what's today's devotional? And so it could be very simple. Yeah, this was today's devotional, because the last time I was Bible studying, I did not actually go into the daily devotional. I was just in the Bible study section, and I forgot that there's different sections that you can use while you are studying, regardless of how you're studying or what you're studying with. And so I added it to the daily devotional. They even have a prayer tab, so you can have a prayer journal, which I absolutely love prayer journals. I think they're amazing, because there's many times where as people of faith, we are just kind of doing so much, we forget, or we don't see clearly all of the blessings that God has given us and has provided us with. And that can make you very short-sighted, and, you know, make you start to compare and start to not feel the presence of God in your life, and feel like God has forgotten you, and feel like all these things can start to happen. And so having a prayer list and having just a prayer journal And actually, like, marking off when God has answered prayers is really, really important, because you then see, like, oh, he's been doing his big one in my life. Okay. But one of my favorite ones, because I actually have them, I have the tabs, some of my most used tabs favorited. One of my favorite one is actually this, but it's actually the SOAP application. And if you don't know, SOAP stands for Scripture, Observe, Application, or Apply, and Prayer. And it's a really good way, especially you don't know how to study the Bible. How to study the Bible, or how to start with, like, remembering verses and scriptures and stuff like that. The SOAP method is very, very good, because then you can see how each scripture, each verse actually is applicable for your life. And that's what, like, today's devotion was talking about, how as, like, mothers, and, or, you know, as people in general, but especially as moms, we understand, well, some of us, let me speak for myself, but, like, I understand that there's seasons, there's always seasons. But I understand that the season of motherhood is a very long season. It's one that does not end. The chapter, and then within motherhood, there's seasons. And because motherhood is a chapter that does not end, right? Like, you're going to always have this chapter looming over you, whether your kids are just born, infancy, or they're 18, or they're 38, or they're 58, or whatever. Like, as long as your kids are alive and you're alive, you will always have this motherhood chapter open. But within the motherhood chapter, there's seasons. There's seasons of the newborn period, the seasons of toddler, there's seasons of children, teens, young adults, adults, and then when your kids step into parenthood, or if they do, and stuff, you know, like, there's every season. And of course, there's seasons within those seasons of sacrifice, season of nurture, season of giving, season of backing up, season of all this stuff. And it was basically saying how, like, God's word is forever, but because it is forever, there's never a time where God's word is not within our season, if that makes sense. You know, like, there's some times where people will just be like, oh, I haven't really been talking to God, I've been distancing myself from God, or like, oh, God's just not listening to me in this season, or something of that nature, like something of those sorts. And it's just like, like, no. And I'm speaking for myself, because there's definitely moments where I wouldn't necessarily feel like, oh, God doesn't want to hear me, or like, this is not my season with God, like, you know, God is busy, so, like, I'll catch him another season. Like, I've never looked at God like that, to think of him as something that can go away or disappear. But I have definitely had moments in my seasons where I'm overwhelmed, I'm just doing a lot, and I don't actually take time to mark out moments of my day where I just am giving a full-on attentive conversation to Christ. And that was the issue. It's not that I've forgotten him, but I haven't mapped out time for him, right? And the thing is that I can't even say, like, oh, well, because I would always turn around and be like, well, I'm not talking to anyone. It's not like I'm calling up a best friend, or calling up, like, my mom or my sister or something and conversing with other people. I usually don't talk to anyone. Like, I wouldn't call anyone. I wouldn't be talking to people, which is not good neither. But with me thinking in that, it's just kind of like, well, that's even more so an issue, because I'm not talking to God, and I'm not talking to other people. Like, this is like what is the season of despair? Like, the season of depression? Like, what is going on? Why is that what I do? And not just that, but, like, I remember yesterday I seen someone talk about, like, how it was like, they were saying, well, God, if I ever forget to speak to you with my words, I hope my heart is talking to you, or something of that nature. And I remember saying that, like, oh, I never, like, actually stopped praying, or I never actually stopped talking with God. But, like, in these moments, like, I would not be talking. I would not be saying anything, like, to him. I would not be asking for it. Like, I would just, like, be silent. And I'm not silent because I'm upset with God, or I'm like, oh, you're the reason why. Like, once again, I do not think that way. But I'm silent because I'm just so, like, in the zone and so hyper focused that I don't even have blinders on. Like I'm just like this. Like I'm just like it's worse than blinders. I got blinders, shutters, black light, black curtains on. I got like, I'm so closed in into whatever little thing I'm doing that I can't even see myself. And it's in those moments where I'm so tunnel visioned that I get upset, that I get agitated very easily, that I am yelling, I'm having outbursts, I'm feeling more anxious, I'm feeling more worry on me. And so, and I say that because I was saying like, oh, well, like my combat of that is always like, oh, well, I'm not really talking to anybody. But even if I'm not talking to anyone, I'm still carving out other time to do other things, whether that's posting on social media or even in times where I'm not doing that. I'm always doing something else, whether it's reading a book or laying down or whatever. But I could be laying down and have my Bible on my phone. You know, like we have to be honest when it comes to who we are, because you can't lie to God, right? Like you gonna try to play him like he don't know? It just does not give that. And so you have to turn around and be honest with yourself. Like, okay, like what's the reason why I do this? And it's just like, I really don't know. And I would say that, like, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm just tired, or I'm just like not in the mood to do that. And it's just like, no, it's not even that. It's just, I get so overwhelmed by what I'm doing, or I get so consumed by what I'm doing that I feel like in me doing the work that's serving God, which it is, right? Being a mom is serving God, especially when you are a good mom. Like the things that you do with your kids, how you act with your children and stuff, is you serving God. And so, you know, I would take that and I'm like, okay, well, like that's it then. Like I'm good. And I would just be so just like in that zone of like, well, then I'm good. Like as long as I'm getting up to be a mom, like that's it. And like that sometimes is all I have the energy to do, is get up and just be a mom. And so that was today's devotional. It was really, really good, very insightful. Hold on. That was one of the reasons why I never liked to vlog, or the idea of vlogging, because we are a naked family. And so I have to always like there's also a reason why you guys don't always see a lot of content in the home, because my daughter will just come out of nowhere and be booty butt naked, and it's just like, that's the whole video. Like that's the I'm actually a part of a book club, and this is the book we're reading this month.
Hello, my name is TT, and I am on Mimi's YouTube channel. Say hi, Jenny. Jen. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi, Mama.
Come on.
Say I'm 3 years old.
1, 2, 3.
Years old.
Stop.
Hi. No. Yeah.
Okay. Say hi, Mama.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're just vibing or whatever. This is the first time I do my hair like this. I was inspired by you, like with the scarf.
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay, it's doing it.
So I took a little nap. I took like I slept for like maybe an hour and a half. Because I was just so I was really tired. Let me not say that. I was not really tired because I did get a full night's rest. But waking up that early, like planning to wake up that early and like having the energy at that time, like by the time it was like 11, 12, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm tired. And so I definitely was like, yeah, let me go take a nap. So after Bible study and after I finished reading, I did read for a little bit. I didn't get up to chapter 50 because the sleepiness in me was just like, and I need to be attentive for these characters, and so that was one of those things where I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and just take a nap. And so while we was here, I showed some clips of like me using like herbs and stuff and like packing them up. My sister was actually here. I'm actually gonna insert a little clip. I don't know if she actually took a video, but if she did, I'll definitely insert a little clip in here. I did not actually look to see, I should have, but they were here for a little bit. My sister was here because she had gotten her lashes done, and her lash tech actually lives in our community. And so I think that's really nice that I have like scheduled time to see her. And definitely once our, get together, we will be seeing one another a lot more.
Overflowing. I'm so anxious just to feel the silence. It's so quiet, but I hear you saying to me, baby. Said our time we're making up time. The times you wasn't with me waking up. Now you never said I couldn't miss you touch. I needed to distance myself from you. I was just alone with you. So come close, won't you? Can I tell you something for what it's worth?
Hey y'all. Happy Wednesday. We are moving along in this week, and I feel like time just moves so quickly, and it doesn't. The illusion of time moves quickly. That's really what it is. But morning, grand rise, really. But hello, let me put this. Hey y'all, I'm in the bathroom right now. I was just doing my hair. This is really kind of like my everyday style. I love a good side part and a little swoopty behind the ear. I don't think you guys, well, y'all really won't understand, but I have gotten locks just last year. This year made a year that I've had locks, and I am always just astonished by how they look, mainly because I always saw my hair like this, even at month 1. So I did not understand that my hair was not locked before, that it was still very like loose, and like if I could it was easy to comb out. I think I still could have been able to comb out my hair even right before I reached the year, honestly. Like my hair was very loose. But it's one of those things where I didn't see that. Like I had mature locks, and that's that. Like I had locks. Like I don't really know what everybody else is talking about. Starters, I have locks, honey. Like please, I have a loctician. And so I would look at. Oh, as y'all can see, it is time. But I would look at older pictures and I would see how I looked, like my hair, and I'm like, oh, my hair looked like that. But anyways, let's get out of the bathroom so that we can get started with our day. And I'm gonna sit y'all down so we can do a proper what's we doing today kind of a thing. So let's go. That's baby. Chase is in the background, as y'all know. Officer Chase.
I'm so hungry.
You're so hungry.
I'm so hungry.
Is everybody just gonna be in the room today?
I'm so hungry.
Your food look amazing.
It does.
So that when it push comes to shove, or when I have some vacation, somebody still knows how to do it. Would it be maybe?
That's all. I was in a work meeting, which has ended already. Oh Lord, the locks they're looking good, but they're just kind of just a little annoying. If for me, my locks make me feel some kind of way, or I'm constantly like fixing them and stuff, is because, and this is something that you do learn when you have locks, is you can't control hair. You can't control hair. You can manipulate it as best as you can. You can force it into submission and stuff. You know, you can do all of these little things to try to mitigate it and make it look a little prettier and stuff. But if you don't like your ethnicity, and I just have to be honest, like if you really don't like who you are ancestrally, you will not love your hair, no matter what state or stage it's in. And so whether you have your hair relaxed, whether you have your hair in loose curls, whether you have locks, or whatever, you will, if you don't like who you are, you just will never like your hair, because your hair will be the truest and rawest representation of who you are. And I'm just saying, people love to, oh, it's not that serious, it's not that serious. Everything is just that serious in this world, and the reason why we love to say that is because we don't want to put our thinking caps on. We don't want to be made to feel guilty, and it's not about feeling guilty. You don't have to feel guilty about it. Like, if you don't like who you are, just say that. But my point is that I have definitely had to re-love me, because of the fact that I've decided to get locks. If y'all don't know, I'm gonna insert some, if I can find them, but I'm going to insert some videos and clips that I have of what my hair was before I got locks. Before I really had locks and before my daughter was born, I was a bald girly. I had no hair, like none at all. And I love that. Like, I love not having hair. And even though I have locks and it's like minimal, and locks is still a hairstyle. Like, I still need to do something with this. I can't just leave it alone. Now, is it better than having loose natural hair? Heck yeah. I don't have to worry about detangling this and doing that and doing this and that and this and that. There you go. Because I'm like, I'm not seeing any of these tabs that they're talking about. And it's because they didn't just put me in there. And now I am. And so now I'm getting all the notifications. So it's like, oh. But yes, it was just like, you know, much better than, like I said, than having, you know, loose natural hair. But I worry, you know, like my edges. I was never an edges girl anyways. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, my edges. Like, oh my gosh, the front of my hair just looks so like crazy. And you know, especially when you have loose natural hair, you can like, for me, my hair is my texture is very, I don't know. It's just, but like water, obviously for all of our hair curls, our hair loves water. But like, all I need was some water and that thing was suave, as they would say, right? And so I didn't really use a lot of like edge control stuff because all I needed was some water, a nice brush, and that thing was gonna lay flat. I might get a little frizzy, but this like new growth and not having a retwist and it just give oogly boogly. My point is that I was just always feeling like, you know, with loose natural hair, my hair has to be done, my hair has to be done. And now it just kind of makes me feel like, am I ugly? Am I ugly? Like, I don't know. And obviously I know that I'm not. I'm very much confident in the fact that I know I'm not ugly. But like I said, when you are doing something different and you're not sitting down with who you are and with yourself, you can start to feel like that. Or if you have people in your family that somehow make you feel like that, or they are always asking like, when you gonna get a retwist? When you gonna do this? When you gonna do that? Blah 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 blah. And it's just like, do you hate me? Like, just answer the question. Like, just say you hate me. Just say, I hate how you look. You look like a real Negro. You look bad. You look like you from Africa. And I hate having to see that you look like our ancestors. Like, just be honest. Because that's truly what you sound like. Whenever you ask somebody a question like that. Like, when are you getting a retwist? When are you going to do the front of your hair? When are you gonna... Just say you hate me. Like, keep it simple. Just say, I hate how you look. You represent too much blackness. And then we'll just move forward. But don't try to act like you care that my hair isn't done. Because it is done. Let's just talk about that. My hair is done, actually. You just don't like it. And so now we're getting back to the fact that you just hate me. But you don't hate me. You hate yourself. And thus you hate me because I'm just being 100% myself. Oh Lord. Anyways, I'm doing something called slide decks, which, why did I say it like that? Like PowerPoint presentations. That's basically what it is. And so I have to do that because that's within my scope in my job. And so I'm doing that. It is, what time? It's already 14:20. I got this package from Navy James. Like, they reached out to me like a couple of months ago, literally months ago. Hey y'all, happy Saturday! Last day of this vloggy vlog. And I am very, very excited because today is event day!
Mommy!
Yes, baby. Today is event day.
Ow, he helped me. He helped me.
Today is event day. Look at him. Looking like a sexy chocolate. But I'm so excited. My girl Woody is hosting a... it's a retreat technically, but because I live in Atlanta, it doesn't give retreat for me. But it is called a Bloom Wellness event, and she has me as a speaker and a bunch of other beautiful, intelligent, wise women who are all within the wellness, holistic kind of health space. And I love events like this because it's all about kind of like rejuvenation, right? How to be in this society, this world that constantly wants you to go and constantly wants you to have this burnout feeling, and or these moments of just feeling inadequate and just doubting yourself and all of these negative things, right? And here we are, beautiful melanated women. We're coming into these spaces, or we're creating these spaces, and we're letting women know, no. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is not normal. Your body should not be having to break down before you listen. You shouldn't be, experiencing high stressful moments, high impactful moments on a day-to-day basis. Like, this is literally killing us. And especially as brown women, where we have some of the percentages for us dying or having diseases or having cancers and having all these other stress-related illnesses is astronomical, and we need to stop. And so I am so excited. I did my hair yesterday. I don't know if y'all can tell, but your girl did a little twisty on herself. I crocheted all of the parts that I needed to. Okay, get into it. Parts clean. Looking real cute. And so I'm actually going to be putting it in a ponytail. So I did all of that. But the same hairstyle that I had for our anniversary trip, when we actually went to the restaurant, is going to be the same hairstyle that I do now. That was the first time I ever put my hair up in a high ponytail, and I didn't know how it was going to be, and I really loved it, and so I'm gonna do it again. But the event begins at 1:30. I don't even know how I did it that day. Like, I feel like that was just the strength of God. Oh, Lord, when I tell you, I was really out here twisting my jaws up, y'all. And they came out so good. I feel so beautiful. Not that I didn't before, but I mean, I did tell y'all that I was like not really feeling just kind of how messy it looked. Which, oh God. Which is just like a constant readjustment, because that's the same thing, like when you have loose natural hair, it's a little harder to just kind of like wake up and go, because this thing is like piled up in one. Oh Lord, I'm getting hot. I'm starting to itch. Oh, I just pulled up one section. I still have more. But like, you can't just shake and go, you know, curly, dry hair. First of all, it's not moving. So I ain't shaking. And so, you know, I always had to do my hair every single day. Have it kind of look done. And I did this in a car while moving down a mountain. I don't know how I did that. And it came out fire. It was good. It was at the top of my head, right in the middle. Oh Lord, that was determination. That's what that was. Okay. Blood out. Oh God, the edge, the back. Oh, they hurt. Now I actually have to get the scrunchie around it twice, and I'm sweating. Oh my God, I'm hot. Just keep this thing at the middle of my head, Lord. Oh, this scrunchie ain't enough. Oh, it's not enough. Oh, it's not enough. Jesus, no, it is enough. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. Oh, okay. Get in. Hair. Okay, are you all in? Ooh. That's what I'm talking about. Good work. Good work. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So this is how we are looking. Alright, so we are getting started on our makeup. If you don't know, I'm every immigrant's like favorite child, honestly. I did a little bit of everything, but I was also a makeup artist at one point. And so I love doing makeup. I don't typically have all the opportunities to do it all the time. There's my primer. I don't know where my primer was, but we are gonna make it work. I'm also trying to do a reel, and so let's get started with our makeup.
Trapping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut throat like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco. On the north got Diego. Say hasta luego. We'll be in rapping kilo. Snub nose with potato. Take out. No monkey in the jungle, blind hot like a sauna. Watching nothing, I'm trying to weep an anaconda. Jumping in the water, trying to sleep across the water. Got see cars out, got me big bad for Ronald. Out bag of money, know I gotta have it. Savage, but I'm still a gentleman in Cali. Atlantic, nigga turn them in about the cabbage. Kill his whole family, if you run off with the package. I just put a pack on the way to Bogota. Fuck his eyes out, and I'm telling what he saw. I'ma watch out, I don't know if he'll talk. Get a chainsaw and I'ma saw our legs off. They know that we're a gang, but they say that we'll ring. Investigating, taking pictures of the whole team. Undercover trying to do his thing. 10 mil on a plane, going straight to Medellin. Trapping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut throat like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco. On the north got Diego. Say hasta luego. We'll be in rapping kilo. Snub nose with potato. Hey. Cold gang with the cocaine. The more money make more rain. Going up a band while I'm back in propane. Point blank range, give a nigga nose range. Skip to my Lou with the pack and the cat. Jiffy, Lou with the bricks, where they at? Drippin', ooze, the paddock all wet. Birds in the truck, they ain't leaving at the nest. Get pie face set like milk. Yup, running with the pack, got slipped. Hands in the cookie jar, cut his finger off. Nigga being greedy, we gon' cut his tummy out. 100 bricks on the road, took a couple routes. Flush mama house, Hermes and Philly couch. I ain't really with the razzle dazzle. Knock him out, but then I throw him off the boat paddle. Go to Tijuana, put the kilo on the saddle. Sack him, hit a lick and cop a pterodactyl. Pap him, chop a bite down like an apple. Match it with the acres, with the horses in the cattle. Like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut throat like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco. On the north got Diego. Say hasta luego. We'll be in rapping kilo. Snub nose with potato.
Damn, Zeus, you too cold, bruh. What you doing?
Bad bitch, if she do it, I say so. Big 40s in a big ass Draco. 3 more millions when you ask how my day go. Order a buffalo, not a blueberry fago. Fuck over and we straight to the smart shit. 2 small pins just to take you out real quick. 3 more hoes, pull up, I'm fucking shit. That's how it goes. Baby, if I'm coming straight. Bad bitch, if she do it, I say so. Big 40s in a big ass Draco. 3 more millions when you ask how my day go. Order a buffalo, not a blueberry fago. Fuck over and we straight to the smart shit. 2 small pins just to take you out real quick. 3 more hoes, pull up, I'm fucking shit. That's how it goes. Baby, if I'm coming straight. I'm with my niggas, yeah. We some rock stars, and I'm with my niggas, yeah. Can't walk hard, it's not my dick, little bitch, my Glock hard.
On your abdomen, lower abdomen. So those are the procedures that can be done for management of fibroids.
Thank you so much, Manushka. Can you please, guys, please give her a hand?
Thank you. I gotta go. They're impeding your progress. So I could talk about that in depth, but like there are different options. Don't be afraid to ask a therapist, like, hey, I'm going through this financial situation. What do you offer people like me, right? And so I do ask for proof of income, right? And so based off a scale that I've developed, I'll determine what works for us. We can look at the FSA, HSA, we can look at super bills, right? Where you pay out of pocket and we work with your insurance to reimburse you directly. So there are a lot of opportunities to still get that care that you need. Or if you're really down on your luck, you can go to a local community health center.
Philip is a passionate Haitian entrepreneur and dedicated Afro-Indigenous midwife and birth keeper in the United States. With a background in English and psychology, she founded Blissful Connections, LLC. Blissful Births, a multiple service wellness business grounded in the 8 pillars of wellness. Her services include prenatal and postpartum care, lactation consulting, and end-of-life support, all aimed at nurturing families through their most most transformative life stages. Melissa Phillips' topic of discussion today is everything pregnancy, midlife experience, birth plan, advocacy, mental health with pregnancy. Please tell us, how can someone create a collaborative birth plan, the support they need, and all the stigma around pregnancy philosophy?
That's a loaded question. But firstly, creating a birth plan, I believe, is... Hello? Yes. Creating a birth plan, I feel like, is incredibly important, not just because, well, first of all, let me just say thank you to all the ladies who came before me. Many times, what I do is literally a combination of what both of you provide for your own clients, and that as a, birth keeper or as a traditional midwife, I go into the communities and I let people know the exact same things that these women were telling you, that they might tell you in offices, I tell you at your home. Or I text it to you, or I FaceTime it to you, and I say, hey, girlfriend, you need to let these people know what you want. You need to speak up for yourself. The same energy that you have for your partner, for your friends, for yourself, for your coworkers, for whomever, the world, you need to have that same energy for yourself. A lot of times we are so brave for other people. We are willing to fight for other people. We are willing to put ourselves on the line for everybody else, our kids, our husbands, our wives, our friends, our mothers, everyone else. But then when we go into the doctor's office, we're quiet, we're nervous, we're scared. All of a sudden, we don't know what to do. We don't know what our vagina is. We don't know what the vulva is. We don't know how many times you've had sex. We don't know when our last menstrual cycle was. We don't know anything about ourselves. But we can tell everyone what's going on in Love and Hip Hop and Zeus Network and everything. We know everybody else's business but ours. And my job, my advocacy, and I get so passionate about it because I'm a woman. I'm a human. And the last thing that I want for anyone, for young girls, my own daughter, for the teens that I see, for the people that are back at home in Haiti, for them to feel like they can't say something, that they don't have a choice, that they don't have options. And that for me breaks my heart because we are filled with options. Though our lives are limited, and I'm a woman of God, and so, we are limited in our beings, but we can speak. He gave us voices to speak, to elevate what we want and what we do not want. And so when we are within these practices, we are within these environments where we may feel little, we may feel inadequate, we may feel uneducated, we may feel like they're using big words and I don't really know what they're saying. Ask, say, hey, what does that mean? What is PCOS? I don't really know. I hear the acronym. I think I may have it. I don't really know. And so when we talk about a birth plan, I always like to tell my clients and patients, come to me before we have the baby, please. I would love to talk about conception. What are you doing beforehand? Because whatever you're doing beforehand will only be amplified when you are pregnant. And so if we can figure out what we're doing beforehand, pregnancy we can either alleviate it, we can work with your OBGYN, we can work with your therapist, because we need community. That is one of the biggest things when we talk about a birth plan is, who do I want around? What do I want to do? How do I want this pregnancy to look? What are the things that I want to actually have around me? What people do I want to have around me? What kind of care am I looking for? All of these things are so important because they impact your pregnancy. The amount of anxiety that you have impacts your baby. Sometimes we don't want to hear that. We don't want, oh, well, I'm doing good, I can show face. Lies. They can tell. Kids are very, very smart. Okay, they may eat stuff from the floor, but they're not stupid. Okay, and so we have all of these things when we're talking about a birth plan. It's not just for pregnancy. Pregnancy is like maybe 10 minutes. When I tell my clients, like, oh, we're going to talk about our birth plan, book a session, the whole hour, 10 minutes? What are we going to do? We're going to do the doctor with midwife. Okay, yeah, cool. After the baby comes, what are we doing? Are you using diapers? Do you want to pump? Do you want to breastfeed? Is the father there? Do you not have the father around? Who is around? Do you have anybody to care for you? Are you going to have an emergency C-section? Do you have any issues? Do you live in an apartment where you have to climb up 3 flights of stairs? How are you going to get the car seat in the car? Do you know how to install a car seat? How all these things matter. And so many times we don't think about it until after. We're worried about the baby shower and this and that and all this maternity photos and how to look cute, baby bump. Oh my, all of these things are great. It's beautiful. But what happens to you after? When you are sitting at home and you are crying with the baby. You're looking at the baby, you're trying to figure out what is wrong. What did I do? I just fed you. I just changed your diaper. Everything looks fine. What is wrong? And you have no one to turn to. But instead, you can have, someone like me, just a phone call away, just a text away, and you can say, hey, Melissa, I'm going crazy. Can you show up right now? And sometimes we can't, call our doctors. We can't call our therapists and say, hey, can you come over my house? I can come over though. I can be there in the morning with you. We can talk about a routine, a schedule, how we can worry about, breastfeeding and what's going to happen. And if things are changing, if you have to go to work early, maybe you thought you had over 12 weeks of maternity leave paid, but you don't. You have 6 weeks, and now you have to think about daycare for a 6-week-old baby. All of these things impact not just your mental health, but they impact your journey with your baby. They impact your physical health. They impact everything. And that's one of the main components that I talk about within my business. And that's why when we talk about a birth plan, it's so much deeper than that. I can never just say, let's just talk about pregnancy right now. Let's just talk about what's going on right now. Because I have to mention what happens after I hang up the phone with you. Do you have someone berating you, and do you have to go to work and it's tired and you're on your feet for 12 hours a day? Do you have to worry about rent, your car note, this and that? Those things matter just as much, because the baby is fine. The baby is taking literally everything from you, and you are left to fend for yourself. Do you have the strength to do that? Many of us don't, and many of us, whether we are from the diaspora, no matter what, many of us don't have the ability to say, I need help. I need some structure. I need discipline. I need something. I just need you to sit with me while I cry and talk and express how I'm feeling about this. And it's not that I hate what's happening. I wanted this. I asked for this. I prayed for this. But this is more than anyone has ever taught me or ever spoke about. Movies don't do motherhood justice. Shows don't do motherhood justice. You will never be able to see the true ins and outs of what it means to be a mother. And it doesn't have to be vaginal. Oh, being a mother, I say being a mother is an adjective, it's a verb, it's a noun, it's everything. Because it's not just this connection from the womb. We need aunties, cousins, godmothers, friends. All of these people, they play a part within your birth plan as well. And so, oh Lord. Like that, it's a loaded question. I can't just focus on one thing, but
one step at a time.
Exactly.
To the point where they don't want to be here anymore. Am I correct?
Oh, absolutely. I just even mentioned that postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety and baby blues are not the same things. They're sometimes used simultaneously, but they're not the same thing. And so postpartum depression is not depression. It is depression with a heavy influx of a mangle of hormones, right? Because, and when we talk about reproductive care, and this is where once again, love to see people before we get pregnant, right? Because then I can mention like your hormones now are normal. I don't like to use that word, but common, let's say. They're your normal, because everyone's normal is different. And so let's look at what that normal looks like. Some people have depression and they don't know. Some people have underlying symptoms of anxiety and they don't know. And then, they go through pregnancy and all of these things. And then, like I said, pregnancy only amplifies the situations that you have. They only magnify everything that is wrong. Your partner was that person already, but we don't know who someone will be when they become a parent. All of these things are new, and so unfortunately for a lot of people, the mask that they wore before the baby came suddenly gets ripped off immediately because they themselves can't grasp what hormones are, because they're so complex, even in just talking about them. it's hours of a conversation of just hormones alone. And so you can imagine being a woman, you know, you're like, okay, I've been in this body for 20 plus years. I should know me. For me, for instance, I had my period at 9. And, you know, so I'm 28 right now. And so, you know, that's 10 plus years. I know me. I think I got an idea of who I am. And all of these things are good to have an idea of, but in that moment, after having a baby, all of these hormones, your body is so incredible. Immediately after, just like if you cut yourself, your body is rushing to repair it. It doesn't take hours. But for us, we see the scarring and the healing happen over time. But for your body, it's the second it happens. And so the second the baby's ejected out, your body is like, okay, we're not pregnant anymore. Let's try to go back. And it's not go back to who you were, but it's go back to the levels you were before pregnancy, because we're up here. We're having to increase water, increase blood, increase everything just to make sure that you, but more importantly, this baby, is alive, is thriving, is here. And so all of those things come down. But then you add in breastfeeding or pumping, they come back up. You add in all of these emotional stressors, they go down, they fluctuate, they go back. All of these things, and this is every single second, every hour, this is happening continuously. And so if you don't have people that say, I don't know why you're crying right now, but I'm gonna go take the baby for a second. I'm gonna go make sure you already fed them, cool. I'm gonna go just take them outside, get a little vitamin D, we're gonna go hang out, maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour, I'm gonna, you know, give or take. But, and this can be anyone, it doesn't have to be your partner, but we have to be willing to kind of, even if it's not take the baby outside, because sometimes it's like, I wanna be able to see my baby, but like, take them away for just 10 minutes so that whatever I do when I'm just sitting here, just kind of coming back to Melissa, I can either cry, I can look at my body and say, oh my God. I can look at myself and say, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. I'm such a wreck. I'm so hungry. I'm so horny. I'm so hurt. I'm so sad. My friends aren't here. My mom's not here. My this, whoever. I can just let it out. I can take a shower. I can do my hair. I can brush my teeth. I can maybe put on some mascara, put a little perfume, put maybe something sexy on, maybe get out of the clothes that I've been in, change myself, just do something different. Those little things, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes. You know, those little things can impact how we look at postpartum. And to even go, you know, because once again, it's all circular, to go back to that, the postpartum period, just because your baby is walking and talking about 9 months does not mean postpartum is done. But the postpartum period lasts generally about 2 years. And so when we say, when we say like, oh, I had postpartum, my baby's 2 years old and I'm still kind of feeling depressed. Yeah, your baby is still a baby neurologically. And so we don't see, you know, my daughter's 3.5. And so sometimes people, you know, they look at her and they're like, oh, this is an adult or a bigger child, you know, and she should know not to do this and not to do that and all of these things. But she's an infant, technically. She is just learning everything, just like I am learning everything new. You know, whether you're 28, 38, 48, 58, we're all doing life at the same time. And so, you know, these communities and these moments are important for when we are here, for us to, you know, bring the babies so that we can have community finally, because it is usually just me and her all day. And that contributes to the postpartum, you know, where I homeschool her. Hi, baby. Yeah, I'm talking. I know. And so it's in these moments where I get to come outside and I get to see adults, other people that aren't talking gibberish to me all day and just pointing at things and making me do things. I can come outside and I can say, hey sister, you know, I don't even have to ask, you're just gonna watch my daughter for me. Thank you, Jesus. Well, that, you know, those moments, they contribute to postpartum. And so whenever we can find a village, we can find people that can do little things for us.
they not only change psychologically how we feel about ourselves, but they help us alleviate a lot of the things we don't know how to say. We can eventually sit with ourselves long enough to say, oh, that one was bothering me.
Yeah.
I was overstimulated. It was a little bit too much for me.
The importance, I feel like, of having that. I had a doula, and I just had my second baby at 42, and I had her at home, no medicine, nothing. But I was,
Congratulations.
as a former nurse, thank you.
Those women who don't have the community that she mentioned, what does she suggest that they do? Because not all women have communities.
Yes. No, and absolutely. My husband and I, we just moved to Georgia about 3 years ago, and we, at the time, were the only people that we knew that lived here. And so, as soon as we moved here, literally 3 months into moving here, we got pregnant. And so
welcome to Georgia.
It was COVID time. It was definitely the pandemic era. Oh yes. And so we were alone, and thankfully I had the opportunity to, if I wanted to, go back up to New York or go down to Florida, but I'm not doing that pregnant. I also had HG, and so I just not very, I loved my pregnancy, but just the first trimester was just a lot, and it was just me, because he works most of the time, and so it's me and my cat, and that's it. But I had to understand, because it doesn't, and I always tell people, family does not mean who you are born with through blood.
Amen.
Family can be anyone. And I always tell people, especially if you look like me, you're my sister, you are my cousin, you are my auntie. And so when I use those terms, I don't use it loosely, I mean it. And so when I see people, it's with that respect of, you are an elder, you are someone of authority, you are someone I love, you are someone I trust. And because I love and trust you, I will protect you. And in theory, you will do the same for me. And so when we say like, oh, but I don't have a community, you don't? Or are you not putting yourself out there enough to get one? And a lot of times we don't want to be truthful to ourselves, because it's easier to lie to ourselves than to other people, because who's gonna check me, boo? But we have to be honest. Are you, every time, oh, I don't make friends with females because females are too much. Is it you? Could it be you, maybe? Sometimes it is, and I don't like the word females because we're not. But is it, even just using terms like that, are you drawing off the wrong people because of your language, because of your demeanor, because of this mindset that you have that you don't mesh well with other women, you don't get well with other girls, other people compete with you, this and this, and all of these things that you think about. We love to act like we can play ourselves, like we play other people, but we can't. So everything that you think about, everything that you say, even if it's not out loud, back in the subconscious, they manifest outside. And so you may not think outwardly that, oh, I'm a nice person and I'm friendly, but when you come somewhere, you're closed off, you don't talk to anyone, you don't make any eye contact, you don't even show a tooth, a nothing. You're not friendly, you're not warming. How do you expect to make friends? How do you expect to build a community? And there's even platforms like the Peanut app. There's Facebook. I created 3 Facebook groups. In about 1 month, I gained over 500 members. My mom has always said, every time, because I would always say like, oh, there's not these things for me, there's not this for me. Growing up, I'm the first daughter, Haitian. I was born in Haiti, so me and my mom came here. Though my English is good, I had to learn it very hard. And all these different elements and stuff. And so I was always kind of othered. I was the only this, I was the only that, I was the only this. And so my mom would always say, just because it hasn't been created doesn't mean you can't do it. Sometimes what you are waiting other people to do, we're waiting for you to do. And so that will always be my push. I'm not going to wait for someone to create a homeschooling group for Haitian women. I'm a Haitian woman who homeschools. I know that there's other women who homeschool. You may not be Haitian, but you are a woman who homeschool. I'm going to create a group. In about a month, like I said, 200 women. I create my own workshops. I don't have a beautiful land like this, but the local library is free. They can't charge me for having meetings. And so, hey, ladies, y'all free 10 o'clock. Let's go to the library. Let the babies run wild because the library is a public space. They can't kick you out. Let's go here. Let's teach the babies to read. I was an educator. I taught from pre-K to undergrad. I can literally do it all. Let's come. But I'm going to put myself out there. It's up to you to say, I want to grab it. I want to be friends. I want to have someone by my side. And so, to answer that question, if you really want it, you will have it. But you have to actually put the work and the effort to get these things. Nothing is handed to us. Even if your mom, you see your mom have aunties and friends like that, those are things you have to maintain. You have to keep these relationships alive and thriving. Just because I made a friend a year ago does not mean anything. A lot of times, my bestest friend right now, I met her because she was writing an article about me. Odd. And we it started off just like that. She lives in Alabama, I live in Georgia. And it's little things like that. We connected little moments through social media. Just, hey, I see what you're doing, your kids, everything looks good. You look beautiful. She had a surgery. I had the same surgery. I gave her some advice. A year and a half later, she's about to move to Georgia. Her kids call me auntie. My daughter calls her auntie. Here we are. Awesome. Random. I open my heart to everyone. I always tell people true love is not conditional. It's supposed to be unconditional. And so I want everyone who sees my daughter, her name is Genevieve. Touch her, love her, she loves people. I want community. I don't shy away from people. And so when I came here, okay, it's just me. No one else is here. I'm not going to stay here and be depressed. I can cry all day. I can do these things. I can make myself a victim and make myself all these negative things. Or I can take control of my life. I can use the tools that God has given me to get to where I am now, and I can make friends. And I've made not just friends, I've made sisters. I've made people for life. And that is, and I don't want to say it's easy. It takes work, of course. Anything that you love requires work. It requires intention. But it didn't require so much. I just reached out and said, hey, this is great what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I love women. I'm a girl's girl. And so anything, I will see anyone, I'm like, oh my gosh, where did you get that from? I love this. I love what you're doing. Shout out to you. You are such a blessing. I'm so proud of you. You're doing amazing. Little things like that. I don't have to be your best friend. We don't have to talk every day. But I want you to know that I'm here. And it's in those little moments that I get women who message me 2 o'clock in the morning like, hey girl, my baby is cluster feeding. I don't really know what's going on. Can you help me out? Yeah, sure, here. Give them 30 minutes of my time. I don't have to charge you for this is a community. I'm a community leader. I tell people I'm a bridge. I bridge you to therapists. I bridge you to doctors. I bridge you to other people. You may not need me specifically, but you may need the women that I've met. And so, once again, it's up to you. It's up to us to come to these events, to come to these resorts, to come to these workshops, to be intentional, to bring our kids so they can see that we are intentional with our time. We want to have them see women.
Hey love, so on October 12th, I had the opportunity of joining and also being a speaker at the first annual Bloom Retreat. And you guys, this was a phenomenal event hosted by Woodleen, aka Woody. And you guys, everything was curated for an experience, for empowerment, for advocacy, for just love. Y'all, we had a mental health session where we just relaxed and we just was in zen. You also had a flower bouquet station, a live saxophonist, massage station, mimosa bar. Y'all, it was hot and popping, and the food, Haitian food at that, y'all. It was an amazing event. I am so thankful for all the ladies that were there, for all of the new friendships and connections that I made, and I cannot wait for more events like this. You guys, if you are looking for a speaker to come in and inspire the women in your communities, definitely reach out to me. But Woody, you did your big one on this.